So good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our October edition of our monthly watch party. This I was extremely excited about because today we have three panelists who really focus on their real estate business by generating referrals, and they are proactive to try to generate those referrals. I'm excited. I always say is no matter what your business looks like, typically a majority of most agents' business comes from referrals, and in my opinion is a lot more agents could spend time on focusing on growing those referrals as it's already working. So for these three panelists to take time out of their busy schedule, I really appreciate it. I know Michelle and Olivier and everybody else really appreciate it. So what I want to do is do me a favor, take a quick second, introduce yourself, tell us what office you're from, and also just tell us a little bit about what percentage of your business currently comes from referrals.
Start with me.
You can start with you.
I'm Sayeeda Moore. I'm with the RE/MAX and Cranford office. And currently about almost probably I would say like 70% of my business is from referrals.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. And we're going to unpack a little bit more about that in a second. So, Jake?
I am Gina Mazur. I am with RE/MAX Tri-County, and I'm going to say probably about 95% of my business is referral.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I'm Kimberly Colgan with the East Brunswick office, and for the past 2 years, solid 100% of my business is by referral, and I don't focus anywhere else to even have something else really filter in.
Now, Kim, I know the answer to this, right? Because I always share the first time you and I sat down together. Was it always that way?
No, definitely not. I didn't even think it would ever get to this point. It felt like it was such a slow process that even when I was doing stuff, my family is like, what are you even doing? Like, realtors don't do this. Like, I don't understand. I'm like, I don't even understand half the time what I'm doing either. I just know it's different. It's me, and I'm going to run with it. And it's amazing.
So how did you transition from, doing business to pretty much 100% working by referral?
So I was introduced to Buffini really early on in my career. I had a hard time, I felt like, implementing it in the beginning.
And if anybody doesn't know what Buffini is that's watching this, what is Buffini?
So Brian Buffini, you can Google him. He's has a coaching program now, but he started off as an agent not even as an agent. He immigrated here, became a realtor, and built his whole business doing calls, notes, and pop-bys in a really just genuine way of staying in touch with people to get repeat business from them.
Okay. And his systems and stuff kind of helped you transition to being 100% referral?
Absolutely, yeah. It's very different. I mean, even though I think there's more and more agents that do it, for the most part, it's unheard of for people. Even when they share it with their family, that they're like, my realtor stopped by and did this. It's not common for them to hear it. So you really stand out.
Right. Can you remember when you and I first sat down?
Yeah.
And I give Kim credit because she said to me she was 100% intentional that she wanted to make her business 100% by referral.
Yep.
And she wanted to grow her business through that route. So she was laser focused on what she wanted to do and how she wanted to do it. And she accomplished it. So yes. I just want to say congratulations because I still remember that first meeting.
I do.
6-7 years ago. Gina, how about you?
All right. So I would say I was doing Buffini things before I even knew what Buffini was.
Okay.
I had started with doing a refrigerator magnet every anniversary when they bought their home, closed on their home. Then I got introduced to Buffini when I joined RE/MAX. And I would say from there, it really did take off. And I would say I'm 95% because there's still the 5% that comes from they found me online or whatever.
Right.
So I'm going to get to 100%.
Yeah.
But,
You will.
but yes, Buffini does take you definitely to another level because, like she said, it's not common that your agent's just stopping by with stuff and sending you something all the time in the mail or calling you, texting you. But that's me. I can do that. It's very genuine for me.
Right.
To build a relationship versus a sale.
Right. It's definitely very relationship based.
Oh, yeah.
Generating referrals.
Yep. Definitely.
Sayeeda?
Well, I was introduced to Buffini through our office last year and I did it, but I actually call my clients more than I pop by and have genuine conversations. And that's the way I keep in touch with them. It's natural. A lot of them have become my friends and they call me for any and everything. for referrals for contractors, plumbers, electricians, and then we have those conversations, and that's how I get the business.
How often are you contacting your sphere?
Believe it or not, pretty regularly. Sometimes I think about them if I'm riding by a house, as I sell a lot locally,
Right.
and I'll call them and say, hey, I'm in your neighborhood, and they're like, come by, say hi.
Aw.
I don't always do it just to be able to come by, but if they pop up in my mind, I call them. Hey, what are you doing? How are you doing?
So phone call is your biggest tool to
Phone
use
call.
to stay in front of your sphere?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Kim, how about you?
I think so. There's definitely like 4 solid pop by or like client events or even mail buys that I'll do throughout the year that are consistent. They don't change. And then I try and spice it up with new ones throughout the year and find different, things to do, like the COVID toilet paper. Last year I did an Easter egg hunt kit for parents so they could do, an Easter egg hunt for their kids. So I try and find fun things in between. And a lot of contact on social media because I feel like it gives me a way to hear a need that they have and fill it. So if someone is starting a new health journey, I hop on Amazon and send them whatever, like a really nice water bottle and something for their fridge to track their progress. Someone's going through a divorce, send them like an empowerment book. I don't know. Like there's just always, when you're on there, that's where people are sharing their life and you can be a part of it so easily. Especially with Amazon. I mean, you don't even have to be driving all over to do these things and you're popping up, for them all the time.
And such a difference about generating referral business now compared to maybe 10 years ago is social media.
Sure.
Your database is right there on your phone. And if you're really following your clients and interacting with your clients online, they're going to give you everything that you need to follow up with them about. Because I hear so many times it's like, well, I don't want to follow up with my past client because I don't really have anything to say. After the transaction. And if you need to build rapport and build that relationship, they're usually giving you the playbook on social media. You just have to follow it.
Even if you're not sure, you want to touch base because it's been a while and you're not even sure what to say, then I'll always like hop on Facebook or Instagram really quick, scroll through, see what they've been up to. And then at least if the conversation is quiet, I have a reason, something to bring up or a reason to start the call even.
Awesome. Gina, how about you? How are you reaching out to your past clients? Is it email, text, phone calls, pop-bys?
Well, I do the monthly newsletter and kind of piggybacking on what you guys are saying with the social media. So I will see what they've been up to. And on the cover letter of the newsletter, believe it or not, I handwrite a little something appropriate to what's going on in their life. Or last, what I just did is I'm trying to add to the contractor preferred list. So I wanted them to contribute and hey, have you had anybody recently that you liked who worked at your house, showed up, you felt you got value. So it's also giving me another reason to call, not being like, what do I say this month, So that was a nice way to have them be involved in something that is going to help benefit the group of my past clients.
Right. Calling with a purpose makes
calling
so
with a purpose.
Yes.
Sure.
Calling with a purpose.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, Gina, what have been some of the 3 top tactics you've used to produce referrals?
I would say, again, the newsletter. Number 2, ask for the referral. That seems to be one of the things that I think I've heard other agents say, oh my God, how do you do it? But just kind of at the end of the conversation, say, hey, by the way, which is the Buffini thing. If you know anybody who needs my help, please send them my way or pass on their name to me and I'll give them a call.
Awesome.
I think asking is a huge one. That should have been number 1 for, the newsletter is great. And number 3, a tactic. I think popping by when they are home is a good one. I know like the drop and run has always been a favorite. I kind of used it one time. It defeats
the purpose almost a little bit.
It does. I did it on a Saturday afternoon. And it was the best pop I've ever done. That's where that big thing came into play, if you recall. Because people just interact. They're standing on their porch with you. They're talking. It was really nice to pop by when they were home.
Right. And it's a great way to stay top of mind with your past clients.
Yeah.
We wake up every day thinking about where we can get more real estate business, but our past clients aren't. Right?
Correct.
Right. So it's staying in front of your past clients with adding value, and I always say not being annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's that good balance of both.
Right.
to generate the referrals. Sayeeda, how about you? What are the top 3 tactics you've used with past clients?
I don't know if I have 3,
Okay.
but I will say I definitely call, and I call often. Those calls might generate me someone asking for help, and me being able to help them, and that help turns into, oh, by the way, this person needs help as well.
Okay.
In the past, I have done. I was a part of a referral program, and I have done what's called a letter from the heart, where I would send a monthly letter, just with some generic information, but information that the client could use.
Okay.
Just so they saw that I was still active and in the business.
Right.
They could see me once a month.
That's great.
Yeah.
Kimberly,
Yeah.
what about you? 3 tactics.
Yeah, I feel like I would beat a dead horse with Call Nos and Popeyes, but I mean, it really is the bread and butter of it. But I think a healthy combination of all of it, where it's not also stagnant and where they're expecting the same thing all the time. So I think like the personal notes, I mean, birthday and anniversary cards are great, but I think, just because you see something going on and you send them a note, if you happen to talk to them, or if I happen to talk to them, I'll follow up with something. So I think it's rare that people are getting stuff in the mail like that.
Right.
And I think, honestly, being my genuine self gets me the bulk of my business.
I was gonna say
I think it makes a big difference, because if they enjoy being around you, they're gonna want their family to have that same experience. And I try to obviously I want to be as professional as possible, but I'm fun.
To piggyback
So I want it to be fun.
off of that, it's true. When I hear people say you're in sales, I don't feel like I am.
Right.
I feel like I bring my genuine self to the table. I mean, I've been invited to clients' weddings. I truly develop a friendship with them, relationship, if not a friendship.
Yeah. People want to do business with people they know and like.
Yeah.
Right. And
For
they
sure.
want their other friends. There's nothing better feeling than give somebody a good referral, like a referral.
Yeah.
And your friend had a good experience with the referral you gave them. Right.
Right.
Vice
Right.
versa. There's nothing worse than giving somebody a referral and it's totally
And it's a nightmare.
it's totally bad.
Yeah.
Right. Right. We've all been there.
For sure.
So that's why this business is such a good thing too. And you don't have to sell yourself as much to a client as you would say a Zillow lead or an internet lead, where you're trying to sell them why they should work with you. When it's a referral, you're already vetted. You're already past that.
Right.
Yep.
And I always say too, though, is don't give somebody you refer to a different experience than somebody who might have been an internet lead or something like that. You should be consistent with how you're interacting with your clients and giving that experience.
Absolutely.
But Kim, so talk about what is some of the most creative things, or what's the most creative thing you've done, and what was your client's response to that?
So I feel like it's hard for me to narrow it down to one. The pie party every year has always been great. I used to do it in my home, which that I really loved. I'm lucky that it's gotten bigger and I can't fit them in my house, which is amazing. But I loved how warm and welcoming it was. It's like I helped you buy your home and now come into mine.
Right.
So I loved that. The Easter egg hunt this year, there was 2 parents that were like, you totally came in clutch, because I don't even have a bucket for my kid. So that was a lot of fun. I did a bowling party last summer. That was a blast. So I think, like I said, I have consistent things, but then try and incorporate some new fun stuff throughout the year too.
Right. And I think if someone's watching this too, if you were at our top agent panel, you ever listened to Pocket Pete, who's a good friend of the office. He talked about too, because some people might get overwhelmed by trying to do a big client appreciation event. It doesn't have to be a big event. He does all these micro events where he'll buy Froyo and he negotiates a cheaper rate for the Froyo and just pays for whoever comes in and uses it. And he leverages video. But what's great about the event is I always say you should be in front of your clients, past clients, 12 to 24 times a year.
Absolutely.
You do a micro event or you do a client appreciation event, that should be 4 to 5, 6 touches right there, just promoting the event, having them at the event. And whether or not they even come to the event, it's not about that.
Right.
It's about the process of staying in front of the client and leveraging that event.
I think too, to not get overwhelmed is understanding that it's great to have a huge event where you're inviting everyone and their whatever, however you're incorporating it, but it doesn't always have to be huge. You can find and segment your database and have small touches that are personal to them. When it was back to school this year, I went through and found all of my teachers and I had these cookies made that it's shaped like a pencil, an apple that had their name and it looked like a notepad. and dropped it off to all the teachers for back to school. You know, so there's different ways that you can, I think, touch on small groups so you're not overwhelmed. They feel special because it's super personalized. And I mean, for me, I think too, it gives me motivation all year long to keep on doing it versus just saying like, oh, I have to get my pie party done. You know, like it keeps me motivated coming up with new stuff.
Well, I think anyone who's watching this could tell that you three love generating leads through referrals,
I do.
right?
I do. I tried in the beginning. I mean, you have to try different things, and learned really quickly. I did not like them. I did not like, and to anyone who's doing anything that's working for you, amazing.
Right.
You feel the way that I feel about referrals. I didn't like open houses. I didn't like the constant need to follow up with cold leads and trying to transition that. So everything, it's like my heart and soul goes into this because it's like, it's literally all eggs in one basket. Right. So it's a big, beautiful basket now.
It is.
It works. Yeah, do it.
How about you, Gina?
Well, I'm going to take a page from her book and start doing more of that individualized stuff. I've pretty much been piggybacking off of the stuff that we've done in the office. Our Photos with Santa at the Tri-County office has always been a huge event. So I have done that one. We were doing also Trenton Thunder. Hopefully we get back into that. But individuals, I've not done that. So I would like to see, maybe I would get to the 100% if I did that.
Well, that's good. See, that's what's good about being on the panel.
Yeah.
People can learn from you, and you also learn from the other panelists,
right?
Right. You get those ahas, like, oh, that's something that I could be implementing.
Right.
In my
Take that
business
pop
as well.
by another level.
And same, like I'm not as good as with calls, even though I do them. I really got to work up to it. I just feel awkward, but I'll do that more.
And I'm not as great as generating different ideas. Like I've done a few things, but not a lot. I'm better with the phone calls, but hearing what you're saying, even down to individualizing it for teachers, I never thought about.
Right.
Hey, let me see how many nurses or different professions are in my database, and then just do little things for those people.
There's so many things. Even if you were to look at the fun holidays, like different holidays that come up, even, if it's administrative professionals, I mean, there's so many different people in your database that different things fit.
And every day is a national day.
I was going to say,
I can't even keep track. Did you know today is National Half a Taco Day? Like,
right. Or even most people have pets. You can do something off of that.
Absolutely.
Right. Although you can just go through Facebook and see who does it.
Yeah. And again, I think it keeps you invigorated and excited about it. It's really personal to them and it's not overwhelming, I think.
Sayeeda, what about you? Anything creative that you want to share that you've done with your past clients?
I have not done anything that creative because I'm not that creative. But funny, I piggybacked off of the client appreciation in July with some people in the office, and all of my clients that came all literally won something. So that made me look good because they all won something. Yeah. I mean, like all the way down to the biggest TV. One of my clients won the TV. So I was like, this makes me look great. Like everybody walked away with something. That was my clients. But no, I've done a couple of things for holidays. I'll go through my list, and like people with kids, I usually just send stuff to the kids, not really the parents, because you know how you win over the client through their children, right? If the children like you, then they like you. So that's what I've done. Like I've gone through different holidays and sent stuff to the children.
So you touched a little bit about it. You did an event with some of the other agents in the Cranford office. Can you unpack exactly like what that event was? Where did you do it? How did you kind of structure it? So you can share with everybody. Yeah,
I came in at the last minute, and we did event at the park I think it was in Westfield. At the park, they had already had sponsors, but I kind of just jumped in where I could fit in to help them set it up. I invited all of my clients that could come. It was last minute, but I had like 5 or 6 clients that did show up. We had food, games, everything. It was a really, really good event, and I'm kind of mad that I got in on it so last minute because I would have loved to have contributed more. But it was just, even the last minute, it was still great. Yeah. And I'm definitely gonna try to.
So you came in the last minute and won all the prizes too. Wow, they must have been like, all right, look who just came in and got all the prizes.
Came in at the last minute, and all of my clients won something.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is great. And I love it. It's just at a park. It does, you got some sponsors and stuff. it doesn't have to be so overwhelming. Some people get so worried about how to throw the event that they just never throw the event.
Well, that's been my issue. Like I think I get too much in my head and I'm thinking about, well, what would I do? But being able to come in and see what they did, it gave me an idea like, this is great.
Right.
We could partner and do this again. And it's better to partner with people because it doesn't put all the weight on you.
Right. And it keeps the cost down too.
Right, that too.
Yeah. Well, that's a great idea. So this is for anyone, whoever wants to answer this question. And this wasn't a prepared question that you guys got ahead of time. So, I'm sorry now here. What tools are you using to keep track of your pop buys? How, as your business grows and you have more clients, what are you using to be able to manage so you're making sure that everybody kind of gets the same experience?
Do we say
Either
it at
one
the same time?
It's going to be the same thing. It's Referral Maker.
Yeah.
And what's Referral Maker?
So that is a CRM offered through Buffini. You don't have to be a coaching member of theirs. You can just, anyone can
just get it,
utilize
right.
it. Yeah. And put your database in there. You put your business goals, and it'll give you an idea of like how many calls, notes, and pop-bys you should be doing a day. And then it'll rotate through and say like, these are who you should be calling today. Because you rank your clients like A+, A, B, so-and-so. So it'll rotate through those. So you don't even have to think like, oh, who do I want to call today?
Right.
I've called this person too many times. It tells you who to call.
I think you hit on something good. Could you unpack a little bit the ranking system with the A+, A? Like what exactly is that?
Sure. So A+ clients are your clients in the Buffini world who have referred you multiple times. And they're an advocate for you. They're the ones running around. They're like, you're crazy if you don't work with her. Those are your A+ people. A clients are people who have referred you. I think they say it like at least like one time they referred you. B clients are people who would refer you if they knew how. So you need to kind of work on showing them that that's how you build your business and so what you're looking for. And then C clients are, I think you're kind of like working on them.
You're working on them.
Yeah. It might be people who you don't have like such a tight relationship with just yet.
Right. I think one thing Olivier and I and Michelle, we always talk about too is prospecting, especially in this market. You need to be prospecting as things shift. But at the end of the day, this is prospecting.
Sure.
Right? Working on your referral database, categorizing your people, reaching out. That's prospecting. Prospecting just isn't calling expires and for sale by owners, right? Like your database, this is part. So if you're like wondering like where do you want to go with your business and how do you take it to the next level? And I've sat down with some agents who in the office, and when I break down their business and they realize how much business they got from their referrals and how much time and energy and money that they put into that compared to the other lead sources they have, they're usually blown away.
We sat down last year because you like had sent out a message. If anyone wants to sit down and like, we'll review your business from, the past 12 months and see where we should focus more. And we sat down with my printout and was like, well, where did this one come from? That was a referral. Where'd that come from? As a repeat client. Where'd that one come from? It was a referral. And he's like, why are we even doing this?
Yeah.
And I don't even think I realized how quickly it had grown. Once it started, it took off. So
it does.
And I'm glad you brought that up. Everyone's watching great exercises. You take your transactions over the last 12, 24 months. You go through and see what the lead source is, and then you break down because you might not think you work a lot by referral, but I guarantee you if you do this exercise, you work more by referral than you even realize. And a lot of people will say, wow, a third of my business, half of my business, 70% of my business comes from referral, and I have no real plan on how I want to grow that and how I prospect for more referrals. So I think a lot of good tips were given today on how to do that. And we say you don't always want to go wide. If something's working, go deep with it and really work it and have a plan with it. So the question for anybody again, so if anyone's watching this and say, I want to really start working more on generating more referrals. Gina, what advice would you give somebody who's saying, I really want to grow my referral business?
I would say be genuine, be yourself.
I love that. Yeah.
Don't push for the end result of a sale. Just stay in touch, check in on them if you see something on Facebook that's gone down recently, a child being born, somebody was sick, whatever the case is, just be as if it were your friend and reach out and say, hey, I happen to notice this. How's it going? It's just a genuine thing. And then you just keep building on it by cultivating that relationship.
I love that. I think genuine is the perfect word for it.
For sure.
Yeah, you can't force it. And it may not be for some agents to be that way.
Yeah.
They may be better off doing the lead stuff,
Right.
the Zillows and all that. But if you are a relationship type of agent person, then it is just keep cultivating and going with it.
Awesome. Sayeeda, any advice?
I would agree with everything she said. Just being genuine and being yourself. Like, I had a client who moved out of state and her house was going into foreclosure because the lender forgot to pay the taxes. And I offered to go pay for her to send me the information and I would go check it out. And I literally went to the city and went to pay the taxes for her. And that resulted in a referral that made a listing a buy and now another buy. Right.
Yeah.
And she just said, what can I do for you? And I didn't know how to answer that first. And I said, tell whoever you know about me.
Bingo.
And that's what she did.
That's awesome.
And I got 3 sales out of it. Right. So just being genuine, just being who you are.
All right, Sayeeda, I'm gonna call you out. What did you tell me yesterday when I saw you?
What did I
Perfect
say?
timing for the panel.
Right. I was telling you about the referral story. So that was one.
Yeah.
That was one of them. And then I had another referral that was actually from a lead source.
Okay.
I have a lead source and they refer me for all their business to me. Right.
That's awesome. Yes, I saw Sayeeda yesterday and she said, I'm excited for the panel. I just got 2 new really good leads from referrals.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Wow.
So it's perfect.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay, so you got to watch what you say. I remember everything.
Yeah, I know. And I'm gonna say, I'm looking at him like, what did I say? What did I say? Yeah. What did I say?
Kim, what about you? And one thing I want to touch on too is, we've talked a lot about Buffini, and we did last year. It was probably right around this time.
It was.
Right?
It definitely was.
It was a year ago.
We did a Buffini. Was it 90 Days to Greatness?
We did the Pathway to Mastery.
Pathway to Mastery.
The first one.
So Kim and Gav Farmer from the East Brunswick office both taught the course, and the winner got a free trip to R4 convention.
Yeah.
Yes.
So because I was passionate that if you committed to doing this class and stuck with it, you would see the results and your business would grow. So we wanted to invest in that. So, Kim and Garrett, everyone that participated, thanks again. I think it was a great course that you guys did.
It was.
And something we're definitely going to look at doing again.
Yeah.
So Kim, talk about one thing agents could be doing to really start building their referral business.
I would say just start, don't think, keep saying I'm going to do it. Just start doing it. Whether you're a brand new agent, there's people you can be forming this with. If you're a seasoned agent, it's easy. I would get excited and the very next holiday that's coming. Obviously, Thanksgiving is coming. Everyone does pies, but doesn't mean that your clients have experienced it. So, go through your database, find your top, maybe it's 20 people, 30 people, whatever it is, it's not overwhelming for you, and start building out a plan, to do that. And there's little things that you can do all year long. I'm more than happy to share any of my ideas. I will never hoard them. I'll walk you through the whole process. I'll show up. I'll do it with you because I love it. But there's a lot of fun, really different ways that you can do it. So I would say just start.
I'm going to share one more Kim story. Kim, talk about what you did during COVID for your Popeye. Because I happened to be on the list and I was very impressed, so I want to share.
Carl and Jen are on my Popeye list. So during COVID, obviously there was a shortage of toilet paper. My husband works for ShopRite, so we were able to get more than others maybe. So he brought some home. I individually wrapped rolls of toilet paper with a label. It said, just stopping by to check on you. That's how I roll. And just drove all around, left them, obviously. But people got like a huge kick out of it. Clearly it was needed and it was fun. There's just fun ways to do it. Right.
And being the recipient of it, I thought it was great. It was, especially during that time, just to feel like you had some type of interaction like that was awesome. So it was a great job. So I definitely wanted to share. So I just want to say a big thank you to our 3 panelists. I'm going to clap. You guys did a great job. I picked up some things from it. So thank you. Keep an eye out. We're doing some stuff on an office level that agents can use and leverage in their business to reach out to their past clients. In the past, we've done coat drives, toy drives, all that type of stuff. We do is a great way to leverage to reach out to your past clients where you don't even have to think about how to do it. It's just sort of a plug and play. So we're going to have more stuff coming, especially over the next 12 months with that stuff that we're going to be announcing. So we're excited to share that. But you know what? It's only as good as if you do it and you use it. And, you can have all the events, you can do all the things. But if you don't take action and you don't implement it, nothing's going to change, right?
Sure. So that's the biggest thing. Take action.
Yeah, building your business by referrals, hard work, just like anything else. Making the Popeyes, dropping them off. reaching out to your past clients, all of that is time consuming. And I think it's funny too, if you're nervous about calling your past clients, you make that first call and then you're on the phone with them for a half hour and you realize, how am I going to get through all this,
Same.
right?
Where now it's like, how do you make 5 calls if it's each one is 45 minutes? Like, I don't have that kind of time. But people, if you have a good connection, they want to talk to you. Like, it's not as hard as you think it is.
Not at all.
Right.
No.
So again, let's just take some action from this. Again, I think there's a lot of good nuggets and actionable items that you can implement in your business, and keep an eye out for our next month watch party. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.